Lately, we have been noticing a lot of raccoons right in the daylight. About 2.5 weeks ago, I was taking a hike in the woods right next to my house, trying to look for some late season morels, when I saw this bushy tail just run off. My first thought was a Persian cat. I was pretty deep into the woods and that kind of surprised me, so I decided to check it out. Here's what I found. I have to admit, if I didn't know he was there, I would have never seen him. Friday, my son was driving into our driveway and he noticed, he said, like 3 blobs on a tree limb. So we got out of the car to investigate. Here's what he saw.
Hey. You guys don't even care if I get this close, huh?
And here's the still picture he caught on his iPhone. I think those 3 little guys are just adorable. I know most people consider raccoons to be varmints, and I completely understand. I also own chickens and I know the damage they can do, but I think it might have been when I was young. It was the 1969 Disney movie called Rascal with Billy Mumy. I think I became fascinated with raccoons. They really are amazing creatures, especially their little manual dexterity. My son, who took the picture of the 3 little raccoons, still remembers the raccoon kits we had when he was very young. A friend of ours was driving and saw 2 kits right beside a dead raccoon. So for some reason they dropped them off at our house and we got to babysit them until we could drive the 70 miles to the nearest wildlife rehabilitation center that would take raccoons. They really were adorable. In the beginning they were, all little hissy fits, and then they became pretty friendly, which again, I know you're not supposed to do, but hey, we were noobs at this. We had to bottle feed them. Anyway, we got them to the rehab center and they turned out just fine. Now, I have to put a warning in here. Please do not do as we did. Handling any wild animal can be very dangerous. Raccoons can have rabies, roundworms, and I have to look at a piece of paper to say this one, and leptospirosis. Oh yeah, and salmonella. So you really have to be careful. And this can be in their saliva or their feces or their urine. But anyway, don't do as we did. Be safe. Sunday, I looked out my kitchen window and here was a raccoon right in the yard. So I grabbed my camera, tried to be very, very quiet opening the door, and came out, and I didn't have to be quiet at all. I mean, this raccoon could have cared less that I was filming it. It was walking all over the yard and then kept walking up to me and following me wherever I went. Now this is not normal raccoon behavior. I figured out something was probably wrong, but I didn't know what. So here's the video. What are you doing? You're supposed to be scared of people. How come you're so close? What is wrong? Did you injure your back leg? Holding it up. Did you get hurt? Oh dear. And you're not supposed to be this friendly with people.
Maybe its leg is okay. I don't know. Could it have rabies, or is it just very, very friendly? Still looks like a young'un. It would walk right up to me. Not natural raccoon behavior. I think something is wrong with it. I don't think about rabies, but I think it's got something else going on. It seems pretty, a little bit wobbly. Of course, that's the way raccoons kind of walk. But look at its hind end. I don't know if you can, I don't know, it's turning around. Hind end is kind of wet. Of course, it is wet outside. I guess this is the weekend of raccoons.
He walked around our entire yard for about 6 hours, and a couple hours later I went outside and found him crouched in a little fetal position. There were all kinds of flies on his back end, and he was in a semi-coma state. So I thought he was going to die, so I just let him be. Went out 2 hours later, and he was still in that same condition, only whimpering, and I couldn't take it any longer. I had my husband take, I was 22, and end this poor little raccoon's misery. Anyway, the sickness explained his very, very odd behavior. He should have taken one glance at me and ran up a tree. I'm going to leave you with the pictures of the 3 babies and end on a more joyful note. And this is Prepper Potpourri saying please subscribe, share the knowledge, and thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you.